in pregame. The Warriors will score over 110.5, and they will get the W. What a game. Defensively, offensively, Kelly Oubre Jr., Pascal, the list goes on and on.
Oubre had a great game and an incredible win, and to me, they just hung around.
Yep.
Right? They just hung around. They played good defense throughout the night, and made some big plays down the stretch. But I thought the Lakers, they get up early, but they started sleepwalking.
Right?
They took them lightly, and the Warriors just hung in there. Gutsy performance, gutsy win, and this win, it's going to mean a lot come playoff time.
No doubt. Darrell, baby, come on. They felt like they were down 30 at one point in that game, and LeBron was coasting in the first half. AD was kind of shooting fall away jumpers, and really Kuzma and Schroeder kept them in the game. But you can't sleep, and the Warriors, give them credit. They did not lay down on Martin Luther King Jr. night at Staples Center.
Yeah, I'm giving the Warriors all the credit. I think the Lakers kind of took the Warriors lightly tonight and thought it was going to be an easy win. And the Warriors stayed around the game, like Mully said, and they found ways to win. That bench played great. Oubre was excellent tonight.
He forced that turnover in the backcourt, and they were down 2. All those little plays mean something. And his defense, again, was key, his energy. Draymond made some big shots, right, off the Steph Curry doubles. Steph made a beautiful step-back 3 on Anthony Davis. So they really just hung around, and then they caught a little fire at the right time. But just a gutsy win, a gutsy performance.
No doubt about it, gutsy there. We'll get to a Perkins tweet later in the show. I want to show you guys that tweet he had right before the game. But let's take a look at the start of the game, because the Lakers came out. They were led 5-0, and they didn't look back. They got out to a big-time lead in that first quarter, Mully, and really set the tone.
Well, they were getting everything they wanted. Layups, threes. Schroeder got up to a big time. Yeah, I think he had 14 in the first quarter. The Warriors went zone. They tore that apart. They were on the offensive glass and really had their way. But when it was said and done, they were only up 12. So I think they could have been up 20. The Warriors were fortunate, Darrell, to only be down 12 at the end of 1.
Yeah, Schroeder had a great first half. He came in. It was hard to contain him with his speed. He's very quick. He gets to the basket with will. I think Montrez did a great job in that first half. AD was flirting with a triple-double in the first half, but I think the Warriors kept coming. And then that bench. The bench came in. They played great minutes.
And to keep that game close, Kelly Oubre had a really great offensive first half. He was banging threes, playing good defense. I just thought he was an irritant on the defensive all night. But in the first half, he was really good offensively.
Yeah, you got a technical for blowing a kiss here, but you talked about Harold Darrell. Here's a tweet right here. Look at Kendrick Perkins. All right, this guy averaged like 5 points a game for his career. The revenge against Steph tour continues next. Teams been waiting to catch him in a dark alley by himself. Lakers up next. Carry on. I just don't get it. I mean, if you're not a Hall of Famer, you're not a guy who averages double figures at points, Darrell. Why are you sending out tweets coming at the God, the Bay Area God, Steph Curry? Because this is what happens, Darrell. They go on a third quarter run and say, oh, yeah, Kendrick, you want to tweet about us? Watch this. And Wiggins with 3 straight threes in that third quarter, Darrell.
Yeah, Perk, we hear the noise. That was one of those games, man. Those guys came out. They played a great game. And like I said, the Lakers were definitely asleep. But you know how it is with Perk, man. You know, Steph was in the way of him winning another ring. So, you know, hey, he's going to, throw a little salt in the game.
Little salt, man.
In the game.
Look at that third quarter there, though, Bully. They really got back into it, man.
When Frank Vogel watches this tape tonight, look at those wide-open threes. No effort to get out there to contest. And the Warriors took full advantage. Andrew Wiggins he was wide open. He knocked them down. He made them pay. So the lack of effort, the Warriors took advantage of it.
Which is crazy, because all the 50-50 balls were going to the Lakers in the first half. And it was like the Warriors, the lack of hustle really got them down 16 at the half. But here in crunch time, the Warriors, as you guys said, hung around. And in crunch time, they made all the winning plays to steal this game down in L.A.
Definitely. And I think Draymond, those 2 layups he had down the stretch were big-time plays. And then Steph getting into the lane for and 1. They just stayed around. And I think it kind of shocked the Lakers, like, oh, man, we got ourselves a ball game, and certain guys tried to turn it on.
There's that
turnover, big turnover
play
right there. A careless pass by LeBron, and like I said, the Warriors just stayed around.
Just very casual, and just Oubre being in the backcourt, being an irritant defensively. and he scored off this inbounds play
went hard to the rack.
tie the game up. And again, he's back there picking up full court. And I thought Steph did a great job here. The last time he attacked the double team and got the N1 here, accepted the double team, nice pocket pass. Beautiful to see Draymond finish these two layups here. His leg got a little tripped up there. Hey, but he finished with the left hand.
Yeah, no doubt. 2-minute report will be out tomorrow. You know the Lakers.
Here's the beautiful step back.
Ooh, that was mean right there.
That was a dagger
was
right
mean.
there.
Yeah, they knew.
Big time performance right there. And then here's the last play, fellas. What did you guys see here?
Good defense. Draymond understanding that the Lakers are in the penalty and they don't want to foul right there. So he was kind of smart by giving LeBron that fadeaway three going to his left.
You said they stole a win. I say it's a gutsy win, but it's a win.
It's a win.
Right?
Win is a
And
win.
what was really impressive, so we saw Steph break the double team and get all the way to the rim. Then we saw him accept the double team, hit Draymond twice with pocket passes, then the step back three. So he made all the plays with all the attention on him, and his teammates came through tonight. So it was a really good team effort. I thought across the board all night, good defense. And when they need the offense, it came alive.
Definitely.
So over 110 with a W in LA. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. I mean, like you said, Oubre. And Oubre was flexing and doing all this.
Everything. Hey,
he was
you know
blowing
what?
kisses.
Hey, when you win, you do that. We got this. We got this. We got that. We got that. We got everything. Did we get a hair whip? Did we get a hair whip? But hey, we got a W. That's all that matters.
Hey, man, I think Warriors fans will enjoy that too, man. All right, chasing with Chamberlain. We talked about Steph Curry chasing Chamberlain for becoming the all-time scoring leader in Warriors history. And Curry with 26 points a night. He's now 997 behind Wilt Chamberlain. Again, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
It's a matter of when. It's an incredible accomplishment to be mentioned in the same breath as Wilt Chamberlain. But I'll tell you what, if Wilt was here and playing, he'd be chasing Steph Curry all over the court. He'd be like, man, where's this little guy coming from? That's a beautiful play right there.
Darrell, it's good to see the Warriors win a game like this when Curry, the shot was off all night with the three-pointers. Or the percentage-wise, it was off all night, but he just kind of got a gutsy 26 here. And, like, look, when he's done with the Golden State Warriors, he's going to have all these records.
Oh, he's going to have them all. But, you know, the bench and those other starters, they held it down for him. And Steph earned those 26 tonight. Those were some tough shots he made, and he kept those guys in the game. He make at the end. And, you know, just the fact that he's, what, 900 and what?
97.
97. I see him getting that this year for sure.
Just another masterful game of feeling through the game, understanding how he's being defended, and making the right play.
Right.
And whatever he's shooting during the course of the night, not only his team, the opposing team knows if he's open at the end of the game, he's going to make it.
No doubt.
So once he gets his feet together, gets into that dance, it's over.
And he made the right plays in crunch time with the passes. It was the passes, the assists that he had late to get Draymond there, a couple layups there. Steph Curry with a nice all-around game. And this man right here, a lot of ridicule coming his way. Kelly Oubre Jr., should he start? Should he come off the bench? Why is he shooting threes? But you know what? He came out in attack mode. He got 16 in the first half, 7, but solid defense, just a solid all-around game. You know what? He's a dog. He gets out there, he starts barking, he starts chirping, and his team probably needs a little bit of that swag, Darrell.
100%. You know, he's a competitor. He loves the game of basketball, you can tell. He has fun with it. But I think what got him going, that make these threes, were definitely getting to the basket, being aggressive early, and that opened up the basket for him. And then the defensive end. Some guys get motivated off the defense.
Blowing the kisses.
Some guys get motivated on the defensive end, getting steals, getting deflections, getting blocks, and that's something that, you know, I'm starting to learn Kelly Oubre does. He feeds off that.
He's got great competitive spirit. He's a world-class athlete, tremendous quickness and length, jumping ability, and he is a good shooter. And tonight he made some threes, but he did everything else too. He drove the ball. I thought, again, his defense was key. His offense was definitely a plus, but he's got an all-around game. He really, and once he gets in rhythm, you know, his stats are going to bear out what they were in for. He's going to average 18 a game. He's going to shoot in the mid-30s from 3, but his real effect is his competitive fire and spirit and his defense.
It was interesting to see him with that second quarter unit there, and he got going in that second quarter to really get the Warriors back in that game. And look, my question to you guys, I think it's ridiculous, but he shouldn't come off the bench, should he? I mean, who's going to start and play him? I mean, Damian Lee's had a nice start to the season, no doubt about it. But this guy defends the opposing team starting point guard. He's defending LeBron James tonight. You don't want to take that out your starting lineup.
No, I like him with this first unit. They need him. You know, they need that designated guy that's going to go out there and take the assignment each and every night, the tough assignment on the point guards, the wings, whomever it is. And I think him and Wiggins do a great job with taking, the challenge each and every night. I'm guarding a better guy. Right. So I think he's definitely a starter, especially for this team, and that energy he's bringing him. You just got to continue to bring the energy, continue to shoot good shots with confidence, and he'll be fine. A lot of people are going to forget about the first few games for sure.
At 7-6, the starting five and the bench is a work in progress. But they're fortunate to be above 500 in the playoff mix where we are right now after 13 games. And I think what Steve Kerr's done is he's mixed up the minutes, like you said. So Oubre was with the second unit a lot in the second quarter. So whether you start or not, and how he manipulates those minutes during the course of the game.
No doubt. Kelly Oubre, what a performance there in L.A. We're going to hear from the head coach of the Warriors coming up next. Steve Kerr on tonight's big win over the L.A. Lakers. A 17-2 run in that third quarter got the Warriors back in it, and they steal it late there at Staples Center. More coming up here on Sportsnet Central. Warriors Edition presented by Toyota.
SNC Warriors Edition is presented by Toyota. Wouldn't it be nice to drive the most trusted brand in California? Take a test drive at your local dealer today.
It's hard to have an invisible illness like depression. No one sees you need help. No one knows you're not okay. So when someone recognizes the importance of mental health and offers a hand, it means everything. My illness may be invisible, but thanks to Covered California, I'm not. All Covered California health insurance plans are comprehensive with mental health coverage and financial help for people who need it. Covered California, this way to health insurance. Enrollment ends January 31st.
It's hard work building a successful business. So make sure your payments platform is working just as hard. Adyen opens the door to innovative ways to pay, enhanced customer experiences, and new business opportunities, so you can focus on what you do best, growing your business. Stay a step ahead with the payments platform that adapts and evolves with you. Adyen. Business, not boundaries.
Got their offense figured out a little bit, how to attack the Lakers defense. I'm going to say 110 and a win tonight.
Ooh. Look at Bully with the lock, the stone cold lock. Wow.
Lock it in.
Wow, lock it in.
Lock that in, man.
Hey, our associate producer, we're not going to let him off the hook tonight. David Tella, big-time Laker fan. He snuck into the building, got a job here at NBC Sports Bay Area. Where's the champagne at, Tella? Where's that cigar at? As we get into our storylines here. And our first storyline, of course, was the team total over 108.5, and they got that one 115 late in the fourth quarter. Mully was on the money. You said over 2, Darrell, I believe.
Definitely did.
You said over 2, so both you guys were on the money. I would have not bet because I would have bet the under. Who wants to bet an under? That's for suckers, man. That's boring. Warriors get the win over the L.A. Lakers as we're back here on Sportsnet Central Warriors Edition, presented by Toyota. The Hall of Famer Chris Mullin, Darrell Wright, and of course Bonte Hill. And our other storyline, we talked about the bench production of both teams. The Warriors the last 2 nights hadn't been good with their bench production. Of course, Pascal missed the Indiana game. They get outscored by 10. Had a rough night in Denver, getting outscored 41-20. But tonight they held their own against a tough bench in the L.A. Lakers. A lot of bench production from the Golden State Warriors tonight, including Pascal's 19 off the bench.
Yeah, led by Eric Pascal. I thought Wanamaker played some solid minutes. We see Looney, he knocked down a 3, had a nice acrobatic finish, nice dunk here. So Looney looks like he's getting in better shape. Bazemore knocked down some 3s. So again, a total team effort. I just think, Darrell, at the end of the night, from the players and the coaches, a really satisfying, gutsy win.
Definitely satisfying and gutsy win. They went in there. I like to say they took this win. So,
right.
Hey, this bench understands how important they are each and every night, and it showed tonight that they knew that only way we win games, tough games, we got to bring our game. We got to bring our energy, and that's what it looked like out there because I think everybody that came off the bench tonight played a great game.
No doubt, 43-37. Lakers have 43 with Kuzma with 17, but you will take that, a 6-point difference off the bench. You'll take that all day if you're to go to State Warriors.
Well, Bonte, till you mentioned Kelly Oubre being in the second quarter with the second unit. We've seen that with Andrew Wiggins at times. Yep. So Steve Kerr, I think game to game, he kind of feels out not only who's going well, who's playing well together, and that changes, right? But each guy comes in and contributes in his own way, and you put it together, and you come off with a really satisfying, gutsy win.
No doubt about it. Let's get to the scoreboard here before we hear from the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, Steve Kerr. As the Warriors get a big-time win, they needed this win as they come back home Wednesday night to take on a scrappy and tough San Antonio Spurs team. You see the numbers there from Curry, only 3 threes, 3 of 12 from the three-point line, but the 7 assists. Oubre's numbers pops out there in the fourth quarter, outscoring the LA Lakers by 13. Overall in that fourth quarter, or excuse me, the second half, Warriors outscored the Lakers by 18 points to get that big win. Of course, they were down 16 at the half. Let's hear from Steve Kerr. You know he's a happy man right now. He'll talk about this win here right now.
I thought he did a great job, and you know, it was a move that again, it's early in the season, so we're just trying to look at a lot of different things, and it worked out, and we'll probably do it again next game.
Steve, to follow up on Oubre, you've been so confident all along that he would find his way. Is this the kind of game that you think can really turn him in the right direction now moving forward for the season?
I hope so. I mean, I think, you know, he's been good for us. He's dogging the ball up and down the floor. You know, he really plays with energy defensively, especially on the ball, and that's been one of the main things we've been looking for him with Clay out. You know, that relieves Steph of a lot of duties defensively, and that frees Steph up to expend his energy, you know, on offense. So Kelly's already been good for us in a lot of ways. It's just that he struggled with his shot, and everybody's locked in on his shooting percentage from three. But I think there's no question it's been bothering him. You know, he's been frustrated, and I know in the locker room, great, and he should, because he just played a hell of a game.
Steve, you mentioned that you flip-flopped Wiggins and Oubre's roles. It kind of seems like you did that early on defense too. You had Wiggins guarding the point guard and Oubre guarding LeBron. What kind of went into that?
Well, we know how important Schroeder is to their offense, and we figured let's you know, put Andrew on the ball and let Kelly pick up LeBron full court when LeBron was going to handle. And so we liked the length on Schroeder, and we liked you know, Kelly's willingness to pick up full court. Now Schroeder really got going, and it wasn't based on Andrew's defense. It was based on our team defense. We just couldn't keep him out of the lane. But again, I mean, you know, the thing that we are trying to establish as a team is that we're going to be good defensively. So I know everybody's focused on the offense and, you know, getting more shooters on the floor and everything, but you know, we're trying to be a good defensive team first, and Andrew and Kelly, with their length and athleticism, should be two of our best defenders, and that's why we're continuing to go the way we're going. But it's still early, and we've got to tinker, and we got to find the rotations that make the most sense.
Hi, Steve. Carlos Ramirez, NBC Bay Area and Telemundo. Against that team on that court and against the current sixth man of the year, was that a statement game for Eric Paschall?
I don't know. I mean, Eric has been doing this all season. So I guess the fact that this was a national TV game and a lot of people were watching, maybe some people who didn't notice Eric before are going to notice, but this has been what he's done now all season long. He's having a fantastic early part of the season for us. He's really solidified his role, and he's given that second group a lot of punch.
Steve, Chris Alvarez from ABC7. You talk about building an identity. You have two big comeback wins against arguably two of the best teams in the league. How does that go towards what you guys are trying to do as a foundation?
Well, I think the whole thing tonight, the lesson is that we have to scrap. I didn't think we scrapped in the first half. I didn't think we competed, and we did that in the second half. The whole half, guys were flying around. Everybody who came in off the bench did a great job. So I just think it was a good lesson for our team that if we compete and defend at a high level, we've got a chance to beat anybody.
What did you think about James Knight? I think he had 5 fouls and 13.
James struggled tonight. that's the best team in the league over there. Playing with Gasol and Davis. Davis is one of the best bigs in the league. Gasol's been doing this forever, and so it was a tough night for James. But there are going to be nights like this early in his career. He just has a lot to learn. I love how he's handling things. He listens. He absorbs coaching. He's competitive. After that fifth foul, he went over to the bench and he slammed his hand into the water cooler or something. I don't know what it was. I heard it. I turned to Mike Brown. I said, I love that. I love that. That's what you want. You don't want somebody who doesn't care. So James cares, but he's just a kid, and this is a tough league. It's difficult lessons out there, but he's learning them, and he's growing every day, and he's gonna have a brilliant career ahead of him.
All right, Steve Kerr obviously pleased with some of the play, especially Draymond Green there. Kelly Oubre Jr. also talked about Wiseman game right now. We'll get to that in just a second. But his reaction to what Draymond Green, he said he saw the Draymond of old tonight. You look at his stat sheet here, it's not pretty. The plus minus at one point was minus 30. But 9 assists, 8 rebounds, and Draymond Green did make plays down the stretch for this team.
He definitely made plays. He got a lot of guys involved. He had 9 helpers. So when a guy could get 9 assists as a point forward, that's always a big boost. I like that he was looking for a shot. He knocked down a 3 tonight. He shot 2 of them. Yep. 2 big plays at the end of the game. So when he's playing like that, he's being aggressive, looking at the rim and looking at the basket. I think he's a different player. So if he can continue to look for his offense while he's playmaking and looking for his guys, it's a different team.
No doubt.
I thought he picked his spots beautifully, and he made 2 of the biggest shots of the game. The two plays in the paint. Yep. One layup, and then the one left-handed scoop shot off the double teams on Steph. But again, 7 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. That sounds like Draymond. I think what's really important is when he's out of the game, the bench is either building a lead, maintaining a lead, right? So when he comes back in crunch time, he can just come in and make the right plays. And tonight, it did look similar to what we're used to seeing, where Steph gets doubled, right. Draymond handles, and either scores it or makes the right decision.
Yeah, and he made some big-time decisions there late in the fourth quarter with 2 layups here. Here's Draymond Green on the podium here talking about tonight's win against the L.A. Lakers.
We want to scrap and claw. As we've discussed, that has to be our MO this year. But I think, most importantly, we spoke about being great on the defensive end. And, down the stretch, in order to make that comeback, you have to put stops together. And it started with our second unit. They're starting us off and getting the run going. And then from there, we were able to come back in and continue on with that momentum.
How much of an identity is that second unit building? I mean, they've been really good for you guys in several games recently.
It's kind of getting to the point now where you expect them to be good. You're depending on them to be good. They've been fantastic all year. And it's becoming a staple of this team. We talk about other teams' second unit. We talk about the Lakers' second unit and how much of a push they give them, the Clippers' second unit. And, I think if this unit can continue to play well, they'll put themselves in that category. But, we need them to continue to play like that. It's been great for us.
Hi, Draymond. Carlos Ramirez, NBC Bay Area and Telemundo. Steve just said that he knows at some point your offense will get to the point you wanted it to be. 3-pointer today, a couple of layups. Where do you think your offense is right now, and where do you want it to be?
I just have to stay aggressive. And as I continue to play more and more aggressive, it'll be theirs. It's not something I really think too much about, to be honest with you.
Draymond, what did you think of Kelly's impact tonight?
He was great. He was great on both sides of the ball, especially during that second half. He was amazing defensively. And the entire game, he was great offensively. He's really finding his confidence. He's finding his way on this team. He's knocking shots down now, which is huge. But he's also slashing in the lane more. I think that's been great for him. He's getting to the basket, and it's not like, he's getting there with just someone helping him. He's putting his head down and getting to the cup. So, huge game for us tonight. We need him to continue to build on that.
Draymond, how
how do you help this?
Marcus Thompson.
What's up, sir? How do you help James Wiseman not let this be a problem? Like the struggles he had tonight, you can see him getting frustrated. How do you not make that build up on him in a bad way?
Just continue to teach him. I think we all know, at times it gets frustrating. When the game's not going your way. I can only imagine how frustrating it can be for a 19-year-old who hasn't really been through much in life at all, And so, he'll be fine. Nobody's really worried about it. It's just the game needs to slow down for him. He has to slow down. And that'll happen over time. I don't think that happened for anyone as fast as we all want it to happen for him. But, it'll happen. He just got to stay the course, continue to stay aggressive. That's the most important thing, I think, for me. I just want him to stay aggressive, because the reality is if he stays aggressive, he'll learn how to read when someone's setting up for a charge. He'll learn how to read when a guy is pulling over from the weak side and he's there to take the charge, or the Marc Gasol one where he kind of knew the entire time he was taking the charge. He'll start to see those pictures. And so most importantly, I just want him to stay aggressive. He'll figure out the rest of it later.
All right, we'll discuss more of James Wiseman's game tonight against the Lakers. And, of course, we'll remember Martin Luther King Jr. here on this special day. That's all coming up here.
What Martin Luther King stood for, and that's still relevant today, is for us to be heard and for us to be understood.
I feel like we honor him by continuing to speak out,
to fight for change,
let our voices be heard.
Do what we've been doing, control the narrative, and understand that we are strong, we are powerful.
We all have dreams and aspirations to be great, to be unjudged, to live free in this world today.
Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
We honor the legacy of Dr. King by committing to understanding our fellow man.
It's all about who you are as a person, not what color your skin is or where you're from. We all have something to offer this world.
We can only continue to go forward, and one day the dream will actually become true.
Welcome back to Sportsnet Central Warriors Edition, presented by Toyota. And, of course, today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, as you see from the Warriors team page there, honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And everybody in the NBA knows what this day means. A lot of these players have played on MLK Day. Mullen, you've been in the NBA, of course, Hall of Famer. Darrell, you've played on this holiday, and just what it means. And we were talking to Monty Poole earlier today about how much progress has been made over the last year, and would Dr. King be happy? But the fact that they are remembering who Dr. King was and what he stood and what he was all about is truly remarkable and good omen by the NBA.
100%. Just keeping the legacy alive and the things that he talked about and the things that he wanted to see as far as change and, sacrificing, by being the voice of the people. So. Right. It's just a beautiful thing to see everybody showing love still and still trying to get through to everybody that, hell, change is near. We need change, equality. So I love how everybody shows love around the league.
Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr.'s words were impeccable. His speeches were incredible, and his action was even more impactful.
Right.
And that legacy lives on, and lives on through all of us. It's up to us to do that each and every day. The NBA and the WNBA has done a tremendous job. I'm so proud of our players.
No doubt.
Listen to Steph Curry and LeBron James and Chris Paul, all these great players, and they've learned lessons from the people before them. Right. Oscar Robertson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali. And it's up to us to keep educating. And so many of his words ring true, but to me, the thing that is most important is judge a person's content of character, not the color. Don't judge them by the color of their skin, and that's still a problem this day. So we do have work. Martin Luther King Jr. always put faith and hope first, but it's also a lot of work that still needs to be done.
Well said, gents. Well said about that. Let's talk about the game tonight. And James Wiseman, we talk about he's on a crash course here in college. I mean, he's going through Jokic. He's got AD, and he talked about studying AD a lot. Tonight, may have been his worst game of his young career, and it's going to happen like that during this season. Of course, he's only 19 years old after 3 college games. We've heard that all season long, but 4 points, 3 rebounds, and he got into foul trouble, got really frustrated tonight with himself, Darrell.
It's definitely frustrating when you're getting in foul trouble. But hey, like Mully said before pregame, it's a lesson for him every single night. So it's always positives out of every game he goes out there. So he understands how to go out here the next game and not play without fouling, knowing when to give up shots and when to, go for block shots. So every game is a lesson. Every game is something for him to learn from. So he'll learn from these mistakes. These charges right here. Trying to Euro too far away from the defender. So it's a learning process every time he gets on the court.
Yeah, every game's a learning lesson for him, but he's a great student. And, he's a wise man. But even through those clips, you saw an incredible dunk, you saw a nice face-up jumper, the talent's there. Tonight, you listen to players when they get into their middle of their careers, or a baseball player, you hit a hitter, he sees the ball in slow motion. Right. Things are still going a little fast for him. Right. And I think that's where he's picking up fouls, the charges. He's just going a little too fast for himself, and that's part of the learning process.
Yeah, no doubt. Next game against the Spurs, he gets LaMarcus Aldridge and Jacob Podol, DeLon's boy from Utah, Podol. So the test just keeps going on and on for James Wiseman, as you guys keep both saying. It's going to be a lesson for him all season long. Let's go around the NBA, though, because we had some good action today on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, especially in Brooklyn, New York. And that man, James Harden. All of a sudden, he lost all that weight, huh? Or was that just layers of vest, or 3 different vests he was wearing in Houston? But you see James Harden here with the bucket, down 1 there. James Harden with the runner, and of course, in the final minute, Brooklyn down 1. Harden misses a 3, gets his own rebound, and then feeds Kevin Durant with the dagger. We've seen that before around these parts. And you see the final moments here. Chris Middleton, tough shot there, doesn't go in. Brooklyn wins by 2 over the Bucks. And James Harden, man, whew, looking good in Brooklyn, New York, baby. Looking good, Mully.
The Flatbush Avenue full court press, baby. They got it going on.
Oh, man. And
KD and James Harden have already played together, right, in Oklahoma City. They're going to add Kyrie to the mix soon. I think they'll be the 2 teams in the Eastern Conference Finals, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Brooklyn Nets. It's going to be fascinating to watch. People forget James Harden played at Arizona State, played in the Princeton offense. When he played in OKC, Darrell, he came off the bench, was a facilitator. Yep. He has all the skills as a basketball player. He had a little blip there with Houston on his exit, but that's okay. Now it's a new chapter, and I think it's going to be fascinating. And it's going to be the Brooklyn Nets, I think, are going to the NBA Finals.
I'm with you on that one, Mully. That's a tough team. And, adding Kyrie back to that lineup is going to be even more scarier. But like you said, James Harden is a hooper, man. He understands the game. He understands sacrificing. All 3 of these guys had to sacrifice in their career at one point. So I think once they get back together, they will understand, like, okay, if this guy's got it going, let him go. So it's good to see, guys out there having fun, having a good time. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Man, Mully, all I can say is damn when you look at these stats here with the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, yeah, they're going to put up big numbers. They just have a solid effort on defense. But I think KD's the key because he can play in any style. Yep. So they can plug Kyrie and James Harden around KD. They got the shooters. They're going to have spacing and just solid effort on defense. I think they'll be in the finals.
30 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists for Kevin Durant.
Steph, what, in your opinion, kind of changed the game tonight?
We just kept our composure. I think we brought good energy. The second unit was amazing, both halves really, but especially in that third quarter, give us some life. Obviously, Kelly played, arguably his best game on both ends of the floor. EP off the bench did amazing, impacting the game. Obviously, Draymond's energy, guarding AD, forcing him into tough shots. And we obviously, made some momentum in that second half to just give us a chance. And then, very similar to the Clipper game earlier, carried that momentum down the stretch, made a couple big shots, and was a big win for us considering how it started.
This game tonight kind of capped off a really tough stretch for you guys against playoff teams. But What does that do for your guys' confidence? Not just winning the way you guys did, but beating a team like the Lakers?
It's just a step in the right direction, but we have to be able to put a couple of these together in a row. And they're all learning lessons in terms of the caliber of team that you're playing at that, at the top of the West that's been established, has been there before, and, good measuring stick for us. So 7-6, we're obviously, in a good position, but we have to be able to put a couple of these in a row to really prove that this is who we can be and who we are. And, that's the challenge in this league every night. No matter who you're playing, you got to really fight for a win.
They flipped up the rotation and had Kelly in that start of the second quarter unit. How do you think that helped you guys?
I mean, it gave him some space to obviously get off the dribble and get to the cover a couple times, but defensively, obviously, he fits right into that unit where he can put pressure on the ball. They can switch a lot and just kind of cause havoc across the court. And he just brings energy. He's always done that, no matter how you talk about his shooting and all that. He always brings energy. And that was a big thing for us tonight in this particular game, considering where the lead was and the crazy swings back and forth. He made his presence felt, all 30-plus minutes he played.
Chris Alvarez from ABC7. Steve always talks about building an identity. So how do these wins, comebacks against two of the best teams in the league, really help you guys build an identity?
I mean, proves we're capable, but it's opposite when you kind of have a game like Denver where you don't have anything going because you're building expectations of how you're supposed to play. So you got to remember what the difference was first half to second half tonight, bottle that up, bring it against we play the Spurs on Wednesday, and just keep plugging away. We're getting really good reps and identifying, like to your question, what it is going to take for us to win against the best teams in the league. And we got to just go out and do it.
All right, you heard from one MVP there.